This is question number 3 from the 6.2 MyLab Math homework. So we're being asked to find the future value of an amount at a 4.75 interest rate compounded continuously for 3 years for an income stream given by this function. So the key word here is future value. When you see that word, you know you're going to need this formula, the future value formula. And it's kind of intimidating at first. Let's talk about the pieces here. So lowercase r is the interest rate. So our lowercase r in this case is going to be 4.75% written in decimal form. And capital T is the number of years that have passed. So we're told we're doing this for 3 years. So capital T is 3 years. We also see in here an F of T. So that's your income stream formula. So F of T is this rule right here that happens to have its own E in it. Okay, so when I go to rewrite all of this formula, my future value is going to be E to the R, which is our interest rate, times T, which was 3 years. And I'm integrating for 3 years, so from 0 to 3. And then F of T is that function rule we were given. So I'm going to rewrite that function rule exactly as it was given to me. Okay, so that's my function rule. And then the formula has another E built into it. So then I'm going to have an E to the negative R. So I put my interest rate in decimal form again. And then a lowercase t dt. Okay, so let's talk about all these T's and things, right? This is question number 3 from the 6.2 MyLab Math homework. And we're being asked to find the future value at an interest rate of 4.75% compounded continuously for 3 years for a continuous income stream given by this function. Okay, so the key words here are future value. When you're being asked to find a future value, you're going to use this formula. So here's our future value formula. It's pretty intimidating. You do not have to memorize this. It'll be given to you. You just need to know how to use it. So let's talk about the parts. So these lowercase e's, that's the natural number. So it's 2.71 something. It's an irrational number. So that's a button on your calculator already programmed in. And then we have lowercase r's. The lowercase r's are your interest rate. In decimal format. So in this case, our lowercase r will be the decimal number 0.0475. Capital T, you see these capital T's? That's standing for the number of years that have passed. So in this problem, capital T is going to be replaced with a 3. And then you see an F of T here. That's your income stream function. And we're being given an income stream function that has an E in it. So we're going to have to be really careful when we replace that in a minute. And then you'll notice these lowercase t's. Okay, so this lowercase t is just the input to the function. So we're going to leave that lowercase t because that's a variable. Our inputs are changing from year 0 to year t. Remember how we plug those limits of integration in? So we need to keep those generic lowercase t's in our integral when we plug in all this other information. So let's go ahead and plug in this information here. So my future value is going to be e to the r capital T, which is a 3, and we're going to integrate from 0 to 3. So for 3 years, from year 0 to year 3. And then I'm going to replace F of T with my function rule here. So my function rule is 2025 e to the negative 0.02t. So that right there is my function rule. Okay, and then just to continue my formula, there's another lowercase e, then a negative built into the formula, then my interest rate. And then the lowercase t is my variable, my input variable. So I'm leaving that lowercase t. And then I have a lowercase t in my bookend. Okay, and just to note real quick, this number in front of my integral is just a constant. That's why it's pulled out in front of that integral there. And then I can see I have my bookends involving a lowercase t, and I have lowercase t's as my input variable. So we're ready just to go ahead and use technology to evaluate this. I would not expect you to evaluate this by hand. Okay, so let's pop over to Desmos, and we're going to use technology to evaluate this. Okay, so here we are in Desmos, and I'm going to type lowercase e raised to the 0.0475 times 3, then hop out of that exponent. Then I go to my keyboard functions, go to miscellaneous. Oh, I just realized I am off camera. Give me 1 second here. There we go. I go to my keyboard functions, miscellaneous. I come down to my integral, and we're going from year 0 to year 3. Then my function was 2025 e to the negative 0.02 lowercase t. Then I hop out of that exponent, and then the formula has an e built into it, negative r. Oh, that's in the exponent. Okay, there we go. Negative r. So the negative is built into the formula. And then the lowercase t input variable, then I hop out of my exponent again, and I have dt. Now, if you want to be really careful, you can put parentheses around your integrand. I didn't really need to because it was just one big term there. There wasn't any addition or subtraction. And then automatically calculated there for me, $6,341.66. I believe my math lab said to round to the nearest dollar, so that'd be $63.42. So I'll come over here. Oh, and it's already typed in for me, $63.42. So again, the keywords here were future value. So you'll be given that future value formula. You just have to write out the integral with everything, all the values plugged into the correct places, and then use technology to integrate.